At the time of defilement, when declines the Buddha's teaching, evil and hindrances in the myriad forms will overshadow the world. Leisure and long life will be rare. Knowledge will expand to a point too stupendous to comprehend. Proofs and conclusions will be hard to reach. To understand the truth of Tantra will be most difficult. Naropa's Prophecy, Songs of Milarepa. Peering through the lens of the law of time and the 13 Baktun Wavespell map of history, we see a synthesis of what other histories vaguely referred to as a 6,000-year cycle. We see that recorded history begins around 3100 BC, while the Mayan 13 Baktun count begins precisely 13 years earlier at 3113 BC. In the Hindu tradition, this is just 11 years before the death of Krishna and the beginning of the Kali Yuga, BC 3102. The 13 Baktun count shows that history is a finite term that corresponds to the stage in the holonomic equation when man transforms nature. After this, a new cycle begins. Now that 2012 is approaching, we must ask, will the collapse occur before there is redemption? Is a messenger redemption process, as illustrated in the Quran, going to take place before we get to the point of 2012? As we know, the avataric manifestation of cosmic history fulfills the function of the messenger. The perception of the law of time, the reformulation of the human mind through the 13-moon calendar, and the process of distilling and putting forth the 7 volumes of cosmic history are all aspects of the light of redemption pouring forth prior to 2012. This information shines a light and resurrection into the world's soul to forestall the absolute collapse or disintegration of the whole world order by the time we get to 2012. As we have seen, there has been a geometrically exponential increase of information the closer we get to the present moment. The Internet began in 1993, initiating the information explosion that has increasingly magnified the trivialization of our planet, reducing the whole of the magnificent cosmos to tiny, infinitesimal structures of nanobytes and nanotechnology, epitomized by Google search. When we look at the 13 Baktun map and compare it to the historical timeline fold-out map in the history of the world, a 6,000-year chronicle of time, we can find the major events ranging from 4000 BC to 100 AD contained in one double fold. This means in this one spread you go from the first Baktun all the way up to the end of the 8th Baktun. There are 5 double folds in all. The second fold takes you from the 9th Baktun to the middle of the 12th Baktun. The third fold describes events well into the 4th Katun of the last Baktun. While the 4th fold-out describes the next 2 centuries, the 5th and last fold-out is reserved solely to the 20th century, the last 5 Katuns of the 260 Katun cycle. This illustrates the exponential increase of the human being and its extrusion of information and machine on the planet. We can then see that it is ridiculous if scientists attempt to minimize the impact of the human on the condition of the planet, as when they say global warming has nothing to do with human civilization.